Always good to talk to you. Always
Likewise, great catching up with you after a long time.
Yeah. So let us discuss something interesting. Let's discuss the Vijayanagara Empire. I am a novice in this.
Okay.
I know next to nothing about it. Just the vague outline, brief outline. So, what was the Vijayanagara Empire? What was its? How did it begin, and what's its significance? Let's discuss all of that.
My biggest problem is the problem of plenty
Uh-huh.
because there's so much to talk about Vijayanagar that one doesn't know where to begin. But in a nutshell, the Vijayanagara founding of the Vijayanagara Empire uh, occurred at a critical junction in Indian history in response to what can only be called a catastrophe that occurred in South India,
Okay.
which was the serial Islamic invasions that kept on recurring from Delhi
From Delhi.
primarily. So, as a result, for 70 long years, South India was in utter chaos.
Which time period are we talking about?
So, the foundation of Vijayanagara Empire occurs in 1336.
1330.
But it officially became an empire, meaning when the king was coronated,
Right.
in 1346 or 1347.
Okay. So this is the time of the Delhi Sultanate.
Traditional founding date is 1336.
Okay.
And Vijayanagara arose in order to be the impregnable fortress that defends Sanatana Dharma in South India against Islamic or Turushka invasions or Mlecha invasions from North India.
Okay.
So this, in a nutshell, is what Vijayanagara Empire is all about.
Now, if I can ask you, when this empire arose, you had chaos in South India.
Yes.
So how does order come out of chaos? How
Yeah.
did the foundation happen?
By unity.
Okay.
So why chaos happened in South India is because for several centuries, Hindu powers ruling in South India were fighting against each other, mindless wars of conquest, reconquest, expansion, revenge, this kind of thing. So by 1336, or let's say even a century before that, by that time, South India was ruled by, when I say South India, I also include what is today known as Daulatabad or Devagiri.
Devagiri. Okay.
So that also formed part of, I mean, in a very broad sense, that also forms part of South India because Devagiri falls in the Vindhya range, mountain range.
Yes.
So it is technically Dakshinapatha in that sense, with Vindhya Parvata being the demarcating point.
Okay.
So वहाँ पे कौन राज कर रहे थे? Who was ruling that region? What is today known as Maharashtra and parts of Gujarat and some parts of Rajasthan also. Okay. The Yadava or the Sevana dynasty was ruling.
Okay.
Devagiri. And South India proper में who were all there? The Hoysala was the largest power and the strongest power in Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, Andhra, Telangana, what is in today's parlance, that region. And in Telangana, you had the Kakatiya dynasty, which was ruled by Prataparudra. Okay. And then further down south in Tamil Nadu, proper what is today known as deep south, Madurai, Rameshwaram, all those regions were being ruled by Pandyas.
Pandyas. Okay.
So by the time that the so-called Delhi Sultanate was founded, this was a scenario in this large region of India.
Okay.
None of them were on friendly terms with each other. Like I said, constant internecine warfare was happening.
Okay.
So in that situation, a determined enemy whose very purpose is conquest and plunder and loot, he finds it easy.
Yes.
You yourself are fighting with each other.
Fantastic.
So you need to pick only one vulnerable target, destroy him or subjugate him. And then in the traditional method of warfare, if an opponent is defeated in a traditional battle, he will agree to become your vassal or your subordinate, and he keeps giving you annual tribute,
Yeah.
and he has to send his armies in case your overlord asks. So this is the this used to be the traditional method of doing things, politics. First time Alauddin Khalji in his maiden raid of Dakshinapatha of Devagiri, he invaded. Not he didn't invade. He attacked Devagiri.
Okay.
There, back then, the Yadava ruler or Sevana ruler was a man named Ramachandra Deva.
Okay.
So, in his maiden battle, he basically encircled Ramachandra, his fort. And war went on, but finally he had to surrender. And he gave him a large amount of money, and Khalji went back.
Okay.
In the second round, after Khalji murdered his own uncle Jalaluddin, and he became the Sultan, he sent his man Friday, a guy called Malik Kafur.
Malik Kafur, the convert.
Convert.
Hmm.
So the word Kafur is a corruption of the word Kafir.
Kafur. Okay.
So he was imprisoned as a teenage boy by some Sultan, and then he was castrated, and then he was put into military service.
Okay.
And he rose to become commander in chief and the personal lover of Alauddin Khalji.
Well, that's nice.
Gobi.
Okay.
Boy toy.
Okay.
So he deputed Malik Kafur to Dakshinapatha again, to South India.
So Malik Kafur was a Mamluk.
No, he was not a Mamluk.
He was not a Mamluk.
No, Mamluk dynasty.
Slaves, right?
No. Mamluk dynasty ended with the death of Balbar.
The term Mamluk means slave.
It means slave.
So that
that dynasty ended with Balbar.
The dynasty ended. But in the Islamic word, Mamluk meant slaves.
It means
slave
slaves.
soldiers.
Yeah, they are also known as the first Delhi Sultanate is also known as a slave dynasty.
Yes, slave dynasty.
Slave Sultanate or Mamluk Sultanate.
Yes. So that's the term.
Synonyms.
Yeah.
So you're right. So then Malik Kafur, he went on a raid second time to Devagiri, and this time he conquered Devagiri.
Okay.
And he made Ramachandra Deva his vassal.
Okay.
From now on, you are under Delhi.
Under the
First time he was on under Delhi. He just gave the extortion and go.
Yeah, right.
So this time he was directly under Delhi.
Okay.
And then for the third time he came. Because Ramchandra refused to pay tribute after some years.
After a while.
Then he came the third time and he killed him.
Okay.
And then he took over Devagiri.
Okay.
So now Devagiri was part of the extended Delhi Sultanate.
I see.
Then he penetrated further into south.
Okay.
And Ramachandra Deva, he sent his own armies to help Malik Kafur. He showed all the routes
I see.
to Dakshinapatha.
I see.
So this time, he penetrated to Hoysala country, whose capital is Dwarasamudra, which is known as Halay Beat today.
Okay.
Now a famous tourist spot. So uske baad he penetrated further south. He defeated Pandyas. He defeated Prataparudra. So that's how Dakshinapatha was thrown into chaos.
Okay.
And after Alauddin Khalji comes Muhammad bin Tughlaq.
Okay.
So he pretty much did the same thing, but on a much bigger scale. But what Muhammad bin Tughlaq did was that he shifted the capital physically from Delhi to Devagiri.
Devagiri, yes.
And he renamed it as Daulatabad.
Daulatabad.
Alright? So this was a momentous thing, because when the Sultan physically moves his capital to a different city, his court is there. So all administrative and government buildings and offices and aristocrats and bureaucrats, commanders, generals, all the people will come with him. Physically travel with him.
Yes.
So then he figures out that this is not working. Delhi is better.
So he goes back.
Because the Mongols began invading from north.
Okay.
So he goes back. But he lives behind a big aristocracy in Daulatabad.
I see. So
they don't come back with him.
So
that changes. And in his raid all the way down south, I think twice or thrice he raided south, Muhammad bin Tughlaq, maybe twice. So there he appointed several governors. This is something that Alauddin Khalji didn't do.
I see.
So Malik Kafur, it was a plundering raid. It was not an expansion, conquest of expansion. That was not it.
I see.
So Malik Kafur did this. He left behind governors in all territories that he had conquered. Chiefly Warangal, then Devagiri, then many parts of Telangana,
I see.
and in Madurai.
Madurai too.
Madurai.
Okay.
So there, once Muhammad bin Tughlaq in the last days of his life, several of these governors declared independence.
Okay. Happens.
They said, I'm the Sultan.
You're too weak now.
Go.
Yeah.
So one semi kind of a sultanate was created in Daulatabad.
Okay.
Very short-lived.
Mm-hmm.
So then the power center of that sultanate shifted to Gulbarga.
Gulbarga.
So the man who did that rebellion was Alauddin Hassan Shah Bahman Gandhi.
Okay.
So
Bahmanis.
he is the founder of what later became known as the Bahmani kingdom.
I see. Okay.
So this is how entire South India was in disarray.
Okay.
And the so-called Madurai Sultanate killed the last emperor or the penultimate emperor of the Hoysala dynasty, Veera Ballala III.
I see.
Prataparudra died a very disgraceful death, Warangal king.
How so?
He was bound, fettered, made to walk as a prisoner all the way to Delhi, but the humiliation was too much. You are a king one day, and suddenly you're treated worse than a beggar, than a slave.
Okay.
So he committed suicide.
I see.
And Veera Ballala III was killed, and he was skinned, and his skinned body was stuffed with straw, and his dead body without the head was left hanging on the main city gate of Madurai.
Okay.
That's how the Hoysala dynasty ended.
I see.
So Hindus, like I said, it is state of pure chaos. Hindus in South India were left leaderless. They had no protection. Plus all the oppressive actions of these Turushka fellows who were now controlling large parts of their land. So it was in utter chaos.
Okay.
Which is when Veera Ballala, during his last days, he saw the writing on the wall that, my dynasty will end with me.
Okay.
As a formality, he coronated his son, who didn't last long. But anyway, so during the end of his life, Veera Ballala, like I said, he had realized that my dynasty will end with me. So let me pass it on. Just look at the kind of ravages that these fellows, Turushkas from Delhi, have done.
Mm-hmm.
So this is not an ideal situation. So something has to be done to protect Hindus in South India.
Okay.
So he called a conference of several of his Mahamandaleshwaras, meaning governors, and commanders in chief. So, and he parceled out key portions of his territory to them as governors. So all this territory is now under your control. Okay. Entirely under your control. Mm-hmm. But you nominally report to.
Yeah.
That was, I'm generalizing a lot, but that's pretty much the overall picture.
Okay.
Then what happened among these different governors, 5 brothers, Sangama brothers, they were the most prominent. Okay. And out of the 5 Sangama brothers, 2 of them were distinguished by their valor, by their courage, by their guts, and by the numerous victories that they had won.
I see.
And for their other skills, administrative acumen, rest of the things, they were Harihara and Bukka.
Harihara and Bukka.
Or Hakka and Bukka.
Hakka Bukka. Okay.
So they took under the guidance of Vijayanagara Swami, they took an oath that we will build a kingdom that will be the protectors of Sanatana Dharma, all its traditions, all its culture, its values. We will be its guardians throughout South India. Okay. So that is when Harihara, he was among all the 5 brothers, Harihara was the one who fought the maximum number of battles, repulsive battles, repelling the Turushkas.
I see.
They would never stop coming. So today, what you know as northern Karnataka, Badami, Ballari, all those places, they were the sites of the maximum number of battles that he fought to repel them, drive them back. So the empire was founded on 1336 with this specific intent in mind. So without Vijayanagara, perhaps Karnataka, all of South India would resemble, say, North India.
I see. Okay.
So Vijayanagara Empire saved Hindu Dharma in South India.
I see.
So I hope that answers your question.
Right. So So then it expands,
It
grows.
expands, yes.
And we have the
Yes.
great, incredible city of Vijayanagara.
Yes.
How long did this process take?
It happened in several stages. It's not that it was a total bed of roses for Vijayanagara kings. It lasted for nearly up to 250 years maximum. Some people give fantastic dates, which you can't trust.
Okay.
They'll say it lasted for 500 years. Some people say 1000 years. No, not true at all.
Okay.
240, 1336 to 1565.
And how big did it expand? How far did it go?
It encompassed all of South India.
All of it.
All of South India, except Kerala, in the sense that they didn't do a physical invasion, military invasion of Kerala.
Okay.
They were content to receive tributes from different kings of Kerala.
I see.
That's all.
And which kings led the expansion?
Initially, all the 5 Sangama kings.
Okay.
The defense, the initial defense of Vijayanagara during its founding days was done, like I said, by Harihara. And then some battles for resistance were done by his brother Bukkaraya, another brother Kamparaya. So Harihara, Kamparaya, Bukkaraya, Muddappa and Marappa.
The 5 brothers.
5 brothers.
Okay.
So they all had their own share of fighting and these things. But it was during Bukkaraya's time. So Harihara founded it and he gave a solid direction to it, a good administrative structure, plus the division of the kingdom into well-defined centers of power. Okay. So for 5 or 6 major divisions. The first was a capital, Vijayanagara, the city Vijayanagara, what is known as Hampi today. That was one. Then Mulabagal, which is near Kolar, about 80 kilometers from Bangalore. Okay. That was another capital. Then another major capital was in Madurai, in Tamil Nadu. Other centers also in, for example, Tiruvannamalai. And another big capital was in the western coast. A port city, a fort city and a port city named Barakur, okay, which is near Mangalore. I see. So coastal region. And the other one was Cholamandalam, roughly speaking, what is today known as, incorrectly known as Coromandel. Oh, okay. So that is the eastern coast. I see. Okay. So covering the whole of eastern coast, like Machilipatnam, Visakhapatnam, that whole region, Nellore, what is today known as Chennai. Okay. That entire eastern coast, up to Odisha. Up to Odisha. All the way north. All the way. So we have. So this is the full extent of Vijayanagara Empire. Now, for the wars of expansion, after Harihara died, his brother Bukkaraya came to the throne. If I can just briefly pause, we have 5 brothers. Is one of them recognized as the king, the chief king? Yeah, the monarch. The monarch. Monarch is Harihara. He is Harihara. He is the monarch. He is the monarch. So there was no descendant. No. So that it's a good question, because of all Indian empires, Vijayanagara Empire, at least the Sangama dynasty, is most notable for its absolute lack of any kind of discontentment or rebellion within the royal family. I see. Okay. Most of them were bloodless successions. I see. Okay. Majority. No rivalry between brothers. It happened later, but just so few in number that it's non-existent almost. So how did they manage that? Because you typically have this happen. Yeah. So how did they manage it? Goodwill. Plus they had the guidance of Vidyaranya Swami, who was not only, I mean, he later became, his original name is Madhavacharya. Okay. Later he took sannyasa and he became the Mathadipati of Sringeri. I see. Yes. Okay. So he was a minister, he was a teacher, he was a guru. He also mounted horses with a sword in his hand and led the battle from the front. I see. He and his equally distinguished brother, Sayanacharya. I see. But for Sayanacharya, we would not have the commentaries for the Vedas today in its form. Even today, Sayanacharya's commentaries on the Vedas, all 4 Vedas, are the most authentic and trustworthy. I see. Wow. They are beyond question. I see. So he led the project of this revival. For 25 years it went on. He assembled an army of scholars. According to some estimates, some 100 Vedic scholars. He gathered them all from various parts of India, put them in one place and entrusted the task to them. Apart from writing, he was also a minister. He was a caretaker for the son of Kamparaya, who was still a minor. So he also took on administrative and responsibilities of running the government in Nellore, which was known as Udayagiri Rajya, Andhra.
Okay.
So, with their guidance, with their gentle prodding, persuasion, all kinds of methods, they ensured the unity in the royal household.
I see.
At any cost, you should be united. If you are jealous of something, if you are dissatisfied with something, sit across the table, speak out, finish it in words, not with swords.
I see.
So that's how it maintained the unity within the royal family.
I see.
Till the end of the Sangama dynasty, this was the situation.
And how was succession decided?
Succession, according to Hindu tradition, generally occurs, the king's eldest son will be initially declared as Yuvaraja or crown prince.
Yes.
And once the king passes, he becomes the king.
So it's always primogeniture.
Primogeniture. So, but there have been many cases in which the king, if he is a wise king, and he has more than one male progeny, and he feels that the eldest one is not fit to be a king, he will override it.
Okay.
And appoint the fittest son. So, in this case, Harihara's eldest son had the natural right to succeed him.
Okay.
But he died prematurely, and that is why Bukkaraya, his younger brother, sat on the throne.
I see.
So, that's briefly how it worked.
Okay. And was the city of Vijayanagar founded before?
Yeah.
When was it founded?
No. So, there are many theories about this. Unnecessary confusions have crept in. I'll summarize this.
Okay.
So, in the during the Hoysala days, Hoysala Veeraballala III had 3 capitals. The main was in Halebi or Dwarasamudra.
Okay.
Second capital was in Tiruvannamalai. The northern capital was roughly in the region that we today know as Hampi, Ballari, Adoni, that region. They're all very close to each other. That was another place, and once he coronated his son, Veeraballala IV, he coronated him in a place called Hosapattam. So which eventually became part of the new city of Vijayanagara.
Okay.
That new city, that work was started by Bukka the first. So he started constructing this new city, which would be the capital, and it took about 10 or 15 years to complete the whole work.
I see.
So that the capital city is known as Vijayanagara. Today it is known as Hampi.
Okay.
That Vijayanagara city no longer exists in its original form because it was vandalized so badly, destroyed so badly. All the ruins that we see today are today known as Hampi. Hampi original name is Pampapura, which is where during the Vanvas of Rama, Lakshmana, and Sita, they stayed in that place. And it's called Pampa Kshetra, Pampapura, near a water source that is still sacred.
I see.
It's basically a lake. So it's a Tirtha Kshetra now because Rama, Sita, and Lakshmana were there.
I see.
And even Hanumanta also stayed in a hill called Hemakuta that overlooks the Hampi city.
I see. It's a very sacred place.
Very sacred place, yes. And it has mentioned, that region has mentioned even in Ramayana.
I see.
So this is the gist of it. So Bukka took about, like I said, 15 years to complete the construction of the new capital. And in a very short span, it became one of the greatest cities on earth.
So how did Vijayanagar, the empire, become so prosperous when it was founded, when the whole region was under siege?
No, the siege part was overcome.
Okay, it was overcome.
Which is when the empire was founded.
Okay.
So unless you have this kind of a sweeping victory, you cannot found an
empire. You can't
empire.
do that, yeah.
You can't declare yourself king. So others won't keep quiet, no? Your rivals.
Yes.
So if you are a king, if we are peers, you will not accept me as a peer, neither will I do that. I should be better than you, or you should be better than me in some way in our chosen field. There can't be 10 CEOs for a company.
That's right.
So that's pretty much the same logic.
Okay.
So after the founding and after Harihara's death, Bukka began to expand the frontiers of Vijayanagara Empire.
Okay.
he began to reconquer and conquer and expand the extent of his empire, so that there would be no challenger to it.
Okay.
You either accept and submit to my authority and let you live as my vassal. I won't harm you.
Yeah.
We'll be friends. Or you challenge me to a battle. We'll decide which way the battle is.
Right.
So he began expanding the frontiers, and his son, Bukka's son, Harihara II, he took the expansion to a completely new level.
Okay.
And then later, his grandson or great grandson, Immadi Devaraya or Devaraya II, he was the greatest emperor of the Vijayanagara dynasty.
He was the greatest.
He was the greatest.
How was it? In what way was it?
One thing is physical expansion. The second thing is the kind of impetus they gave on wealth creation.
Wealth creation. Okay. Prosperity.
Prosperity. So, a prosperous nation, everybody wants to do business with it.
Yep.
So, money power, military power, political power.
So in the case of Vijayanagar, military power came before prosperity.
Yeah, obviously.
See, we are doing things the other way around.
Sir, dharmasya moolam arthaha, arthasya moolam rajyam.
Do we have some lessons to learn? From this?
Lots of lessons, thousands of lessons.
Please tell us.
Vijayanagara, in every sense, was a military state. It was considered an honor for every male child in the kingdom to join the army.
I see.
Or any armed forces, basically army and navy. It was a military state. Ministers were not just ministers, they were also commanders.
Okay. The CEO also has to do all the work.
He has to do.
You can't just be a
you can't just be a paper pusher.
Very interesting.
So this is huge deterrents were created. Of course, agricultural produce a lot of innovative economic policies. For example, what is today known as subsidies. Back then, Bukka began this, which was continued. The policy was continued till the end. Each year, before at sowing time, the king would give funding for farmers to buy seeds, free funding.
Okay.
And at harvest time, whatever the produce comes, he would, they had to return the money in installments.
Okay.
So look at the kind of incentive you have. Then Harihara II and even Bukka also, he gave a great impetus and encouragement to building gardens.
I see. Gardens.
Yeah.
Okay.
If on your own initiative, if you planted a garden in your backyard, in your house, he would give you some kind of a reward.
Fantastic.
Irrigation. Huge. The irrigation network throughout South India today, which exists even today, was built for the first time by Vijayanagara kings.
I see.
Across South India. Even Cholas and other people, other dynasties, they had good irrigation networks. But as a conscious policy, that the whole empire, prosperity used to come from water.
Water, yes, of course.
So they built some of the most amazing irrigation networks in the world.
I see.
Canals, aqueducts, dams, bridges, you name it. They've done it throughout. Bangalore was known as City of Lakes until 1960s also.
I see.
We had 250 lakes in Bangalore in 1960.
250 lakes. How many do we have today?
I don't know, less than 100. Less than 60, I think.
I see.
They all turned into swamps, most of them.
I see.
Many of them have been closed and then apartments have come up.
And then it floods every year.
Yeah, floods every year. So these were called Rajakaluways. Underground water channels.
Underground
Water channels.
Okay.
Rajakaluwe. So the lakes and other water bodies would feed into each other. Very intricate, very elaborate, but extraordinary. There have been dedicated studies to explore the irrigation of Vijayanagara Empire.
I see.
Phenomenal work there. So that brought in prosperity. Then overseas trade was a big source of revenue.
With whom?
Any country that wanted to do business with Vijayanagara.
Okay.
Then export of spices. I don't need to mention that.
Of course, yeah.
Then pearls, pearl fishing.
Okay.
Mining, diamond mining. So it was an empire of abundance.
Okay.
The abundance was sustained by the ruthless exercise of royal power when needed. Justice was swift and timely.
Okay.
And fair. And intra-religious disputes were usually settled in a very amicable way.
Did we have intra-religious issues?
We did.
Did
On
we
and
have
off.
people of other religions?
Look, yeah, husband and wife fight with each other more than anybody else.
Yeah.
So at the end, will they just divorce like that?
No, they
Until
won't.
now, no.
No, but back then in South India, we didn't have so many conversions or whatever, right?
Conversions, no. Not in the sense that we have now.
Ah.
Conversions typically used to happen in those days when during invasions.
During invasions.
During invasions.
Forcible conversions.
But some people like Alauddin Khalji, even Aurangzeb,
Mhm.
even during peacetime, they would
They had a
do
policy.
this. Yeah, they had
Yeah.
a policy for
Hmm.
conversion
Hmm.
because that is what the scripture tells them to do.
Okay.
So that was not there.
Hmm.
So you cannot look at Vijayanagara history from the conditions of today.
You can't.
You can't retrofit it.
Yeah, you can't
You can't
retrofit.
retrofit it.
Yeah.
So that was not the issue. But
Hmm.
within the Hindu community,
Ah.
disputes would be there. No?
That would be there.
Between Jains and Hindus, and
That sort of thing. Okay.
that sort of thing.
That can be resolved.
All settled very amicably.
Of course.
There are hundreds of examples to do this,
Ah.
to prove this.
Hmm.
So that was one. And like I said, dispensation of justice was swift, timely, and fair.
Hmm.
So that was there. Then by keeping a ruthless control over corruption.
Okay.
Everything in Vijayanagara Empire was highly centralized.
Okay. Even a dynasty, an empire, there is less than half the size of today's India. Only peninsular India.
Yes.
Still, it was fully centralized.
Yes.
It's another lesson we can learn.
Extraordinary degree of centralization.
I see.
Yes. The smallest, lapse, either in discipline or things like corruption and bribery, all the smallest lapse would be met with the harshest punishment.
Wow.
This is how they controlled the whole thing.
Hmm.
Every department was keenly scrutinized round the clock.
I see.
Yes. So that is how they maintained the prosperity also.
I see. So then, how does the decline begin?
Just like how, every empire, big or small, has a cycle.
There you go. Yeah.
Cycle.
Hmm.
So it's a wheel.
Hmm.
What goes up should come down.
But sometimes the decline starts from within because of lowering of
It
standards.
can happen in multiple
Yeah.
ways. The downfall of each empire has its own story,
Yes.
independent story.
Yes.
So, but some common features of any great empire's decline is a sense of complacency,
Yes.
overconfidence,
Hmm.
and the mindless indulgence in luxury.
Hmm.
Krishnadevaraya is regarded as the greatest monarch in history, not just of Vijayanagara.
Okay.
It was in his time that this indulgence peaked. He had a separate ministry for perfumes.
God.
You have INB minister, you have finance minister, you have a perfumes minister in Vijayanagara.
Why is he considered to be the greatest?
He had granaries, factories for making perfumes, which is as big as the size of, let's say, Mysore. Anything and everything available in nature. उस time में chemicals का ये नहीं, inorganic chemistry was not there, not that much.
Mhm.
Anything and everything available in nature that has even the faintest trace that it smells good would be imported by the ton.
Oh my God.
And then various concoctions, mix and match, different recipes for perfumes. You had perfume makers, dedicated teams of perfume makers who would, experiment with different fragrances, mix and match, and see which smelled the best.
Okay.
And it was liberally distributed to the citizens.
I see.
Every citizen of the capital of Vijayanagara Empire had to be immaculately dressed, richly dressed, beautifully ornamented, and he had to smell very fragrant.
Okay.
This was a royal policy.
A royal policy.
Royal policy. Men had to be decked from head to toe. Your head should be adorned with a nice, beautiful headgear.
Okay.
Peta, whatever it is. Then embroidered, preferably with gold or other precious fabric. Earrings, nose rings for men.
For men. Okay.
Necklace, not to mention, and armlet. Then here one kada. Waistband.
Waistband too.
Yes.
Okay.
Gold studded, diamond studded, your wish.
Okay.
But it had to be rich, luxurious, and for your feet, in Telugu they call it Ganda Pendera. I don't know. It's there in North India also. So some gold or something, bracelet for your ankle.
For your ankles. Okay.
For your ankle. So head to toe, even men, his courtiers compulsorily had to come off.
I see.
So this is peak luxury.
Incredible.
So Krishna Devaraya's policy is very simple. I am a king, I have the best. I can do whatever I want. I can live however I want. I can roll in luxury, but let me not do it alone. Let me share my enjoyment.
Generosity.
Let me share my enjoyment with my people. So when I go out on my palki, on my palanquin, on the streets of Vijayanagar, I want to see happy and well dressed and well adorned faces and bodies of my citizens.
Well, actually, a good person, good man. But what was his military policy?
Extraordinary. The same military power. Krishna Devaraya is one of the greatest warriors of history.
I see. Okay, so he did not disregard any of that.
All this luxury came because he was that.
Okay. Okay.
He was known as extremely a short-tempered man.
I see.
And a fearless warrior.
Okay.
He used to hire the best wrestlers and wrestle with them. In fact, I'm writing one short essay, not short but long essay, on the daily life of Krishna Devaraya.
I see. Okay.
Minute to minute account we have, can reconstruct. So every morning he used to apply generous amounts of till oil to his body and do these hard physical exercises and wrestle with the best wrestlers in his empire.
Okay.
That was his fitness regime. He led several campaigns of conquest. For example, his most celebrated battle is the Battle of Raichur.
Okay.
Where the Bahmani king challenges Krishna Devaraya to a fight. That, he'll say, nothing, kya ukhad loge, that type of arguments. So he goes with his entire force. And that Sultan is on the opposite side of, separated by the river Krishna.
Okay.
So Krishna Devaraya says that I will physically burn you and your entire city, capital, Raichur. So this fellow, initially he's kind of, he's up for the battle. Then when he looks at the size of Vijayanagara army, he's unnerved. So he will say, he sends a message of peace that, look, I'm not fighting with you, so please let me go.
Okay.
Let's not have this war.
But Vijayanagar had to mobilize the entire army and take it all the way here. Someone's going to pay for that, right?
Meaning?
If you mobilize an army and start a military campaign,
you always, a lot. No. You already have a standing army.
You have a standing army.
Every empire has a standing army.
So this guy's capital is in Raichur. It was still not conquered by Vijayanagar.
No, it wasn't. So Raichur was a bone of contention till the end.
So why didn't Vijayanagar wipe it out?
So that is one of the unfortunate lack of foresight.
I mean, don't let any challenger
survive.
Survive.
From the earliest times, they disregarded Bahmanis. From the earliest times, they kept fighting with them. They lost some, but they won most of the battles.
So why did Bahmani empire still exist? Kingdom still exist?
Exactly. So that was lack of foresight.
I see.
Nothing much more than that can be said.
Okay.
So he says, just let me go. I come in peace, let me go. There's no war, I don't want war.
Okay.
So Krishna Devaraya sends him a haughty reply. He says, you come alone or you come with your army, but you come to me, come to my tent and lick my feet. And then, if I make up my mind to forgive you, I'll let you go.
Okay.
That's too much of an insult.
It's a terrible insult. Yes.
So he decides to flee.
Okay.
Not fight.
Okay.
Which is when Krishna Devaraya crosses the Krishna river, pursues him all the way till Raichur and pretty much destroys it.
I see.
And he annexes Raichur.
Okay. So that was the end of the Bahmanis.
Not the end of the Bahmanis.
So what happened to the Bahmanis?
No, by the time of Krishna Devaraya, Bahmani Empire was one empire. Over the period, ministers fought with each other. There were bloody battles for succession, and the empire split into 4 or 5.
Okay.
Yeah. So Gulbarga, Golconda, Bidar, Bijapur, and Ahmednagar.
I see. Okay.
So it is not a coincidence that in these regions, which party has the strongest presence and growing at a rapid pace? In all these regions today.
Which one is it?
Oasis party.
Okay, so that's the legacy of those days.
This is what history teaches you.
Okay.
It's not a coincidence.
It's not a coincidence.
The precedent was laid back more than 500 years ago.
Hmm.
So, Battle of Raichur.
Okay.
Then another battle was the annexation of Gajapati of Odisha.
Odisha. Okay.
Odisha.
Uh-huh.
So that Gajapati kings of Odisha used to make frequent raids on Vijayanagara during the later parts.
Okay.
100 or 150 years after Vijayanagara was founded.
Hmm.
By Krishnadevaraya, that enmity had reached a peak. So he led a battle against the Gajapati king, and who had to be defeated, and he surrendered, and a treaty of peace was signed, and Gajapati king, if I'm not mistaken, gave his daughter in marriage to Krishnadevaraya.
Well, that settles it.
That's it.
Okay.
So that was pretty much how it went.
I see.
Yeah.
So then, how does the further decline happen? And eventually,
So after that, that was the peak
the peak.
of Vijay as a monarch.
Hmm.
And then later, a puppet king called Sadashivaraya was installed.
Puppet king house. Why?
Puppet king because Krishnadevaraya's son-in-law is a man named Ramaraya.
Aliya Rama.
Aliya.
Aliya Rama.
Aliya means son-in-law.
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 So he was the power behind the throne.
He was a power behind the throne.
How did it come to that?
And all intra-family quarrels,
Okay.
ego clashes, ambition, lust for power. The same reason.
So the succession went wrong this time.
Yeah. So Aliya Ramaraya was not an ordinary man.
Okay.
Extremely accomplished warrior
I see.
and a very, very capable ruler and administrator.
Okay.
But he didn't sit on the throne. That's all.
Because he was not part of the lineage.
Yeah. He didn't
Okay.
sit on the throne.
Okay.
That's all.
So he maintained that
He
decorum.
controlled, pretty much he controlled the whole thing, which is when
Oh.
he was a man of, he was quite a depraved man in one sense.
Okay.
Addicted to luxury, gambling, women. That was also when, during his time, that he blindly believed Turushkas.
Ah. Okay.
And he began a friendly kind of a, what you call, negotiations with Bahmani kings.
That's the opening they wanted.
That's the opening they wanted. They would supply him, they knew his weakness, they would supply him with women.
Oh.
And he invited one Bahmani king's son or prince, I don't remember the name exactly, who Vijayanagara embraced him, kissed his forehead and said, "You are like my son."
Okay.
So this was a level of delusion.
How incredibly stupid.
Yes. So which is when the founding ideal of Vijayanagara Empire
Was lost.
was lost.
Okay.
There was also a sizable number of Muslim soldiers in the Vijayanagara army
I see.
by that time. In fact, Krishnadevaraya himself raised a pedestal which was equal to the height of his own throne and placed the Quran on it just to please these fellows.
His friends.
Not his friends.
The soldiers. The soldiers.
Muslim citizens and soldiers.
Okay.
Even if that did not melt their heart, did not teach them to behave decently, to be loyal to the king, nothing else. So which is when it was during Aliya Ramaraya's time that for the first time the 5 warring Bahmani states got together in an unlikely friendship whose goal was only one. Let us unite together to destroy and annihilate this Kafir kingdom. How dare it remain so prosperous? How dare it mock us? How dare it exist? Let's finish it once for all.
I see.
Which is when the combined might of all the 5 Bahmani sultans came together and declared war against the Vijayanagara kingdom.
Okay.
Which was still superior as against the combined might of these fellows.
I see.
But in the fateful battle of Talikota, one big contingent, Muslim contingent of the Vijayanagara army, led by 2 generals, infamously known as the Gilani brothers.
Okay.
In the thick of the war, they went over to the other side.
They defected. Okay.
And Aliya Ramaraya himself was very aged. He was 80 plus.
Okay.
And he still led the war from the front.
I see. And what happened?
What happened? Defection happened.
Hmm.
And the war became directionless,
Okay.
chaotic, So there was split in the ranks.
Okay.
Fighting became random,
Hmm.
and Aliya Ramaraya himself was captured,
Hmm.
which pretty much sealed the fate.
Okay.
And then he was bound and he was brought in front of that one of the Bahmani kings,
Hmm.
who mocked him, who taunted him, looked at him and said, "Ab kya bolte ho?"
Hmm.
So Aliya Ramaraya looks at him and he says, "This fate,"
Fate.
which is when he doesn't have the heart to physically kill Ramaraya
Uh-huh.
because of all the friendship and everything.
Uh-huh.
So he orders one of his soldiers to do the deed,
Okay.
and that old man's head is chopped.
But it was not fate. It was his choices that brought him there.
Exactly.
You
You
can't blame fate for that.
can't blame fate for that.
Hmm.
Overconfidence, like I say,
Hmm.
luxury,
Delusion of standards.
yeah, complacence.
Hmm. So that was the end of Vijayanagara.
That was the end of the capital.
Hmm.
The capital, see, when you say Vijayanagara Empire was destroyed,
Hmm.
it has 2 or 3 different dimensions.
Okay.
After Aliya Ramaraya died,
Hmm.
the Bahmani soldiers stormed into the Vijayanagara city,
Hmm.
and they were so angry with its splendor that they looted it on a fabulous scale
Hmm.
and physically burnt it and vandalized it.
Okay.
And according to some accounts, which I'm sure you're also familiar with, that city burned for something like 6 months continuously.
Hmm.
And what was left of it is today's hut.
Okay.
So the city, with the capital city being destroyed and the king also being killed, there was no central authority. The royal blood was still there. Sadashivaraya, other people were still there.
Mm-hmm.
But they no longer had the power
Yes.
or the authority to command an empire of this size.
Okay.
So the royal family got split, and other governors, Nayakas, Palegas, all those people declared independence.
Okay.
So that is, when you say the empire was destroyed, the city was physically destroyed, and the empire disintegrated, fragmented into independent kingdoms.
And what happened to those eventually?
So that gave rise to a new chapter in the history of South India,
Okay.
which is known as the era of the Nayakas.
Nayakas. Okay.
Nayakas, Madurai Nayak,
Hmm.
Tanjavur royal family. There's one in Jinji, then Mysore, then one in Keladi.
So the warriors, Mysore
warriors.
They were Nayakas.
Okay. I mean, warrior is a title, but yeah, they claim their descent. They claim that they are Yadavas.
I see. Okay.
So the earliest warrior, I think Raja warrior, he was appointed as a governor of Mysore by Harihara II.
I see. That far back.
Okay. 1399, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
Around that time.
So
they all became independent. Then you had many of the Nayakas in and around Rayalaseema, Penugonda, for example. So those places, Kondavidu, Rajamandri, they all became. They declared that I'm a new king, independent king from now. Okay. So that's how South India, was split into tiny, unsustainable kingdoms.
Okay. The main city, capital city, Vijayanagara, what was its population? What happened to those people?
Population estimates differ, but roughly speaking, about 10 to 12 lakhs.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. And what?
Which was considered a big city in those days.
Yeah. And what happened to those people? Were they also
killed?
That's it. Everyone.
Killed, yeah. Killed or they fled.
Okay.
Only 2 possibilities, no?
Right. Killed or fled. So much of them may have been killed.
Yeah.
I see. And that was the end of it.
That was the end.
So that was the last great empire before the
last
Marathas.
great empire before Marathas.
What are the lessons we learned from this?
अब क्या करें? Lessons, I've been enumerating the lessons till now. Yeah, one thing is Vijayanagara, the founding of Vijayanagara and its rise to glory. The biggest lesson it teaches you is the power of Hindu unity, cutting across all differences. in occupation, in profession, in jati, in varna, in kula.
Did they have reservations?
So cutting across all those, they unite as one body because it is an existential crisis. They unite as one body and give their unconditional, unqualified support to these five brothers. You say that you are confident to lead us, you have proved that you can lead us. This is our support. Take it. And fulfill your promise, which they did with extraordinary energy, with extraordinary vigor and passion. So there is one foreign traveler, I think Niccolo Conte or one of those people. He writes one memorable line which I think defines the core DNA of Vijayanagara Empire. I saw no young man in Vijayanagara who acted like a coward under any circumstance.
I see.
This is the DNA of Vijayanagara. That came honor, bravery, fearlessness, combined with a sense of purpose, working towards a common purpose, defines Vijayanagara.
And then they lost the purpose.
They lost the purpose.
And that's when
That's when
cause
the
of the
weakness-
demise.
That's when weakness set in.
So every nation needs a purpose. It needs a mission.
Absolutely.
Do we
Absolutely.
today have a mission? Do we have a purpose?
What do we have today? We have nothing. Forget. These are big words, sir. Mission, purpose, and all that. We have nothing. We are basically running around like blind men. I wanted to use the word headless chickens, but which is what Hindu Samaj has become now. Directionless, aimless, purposeless, all underscored by a false sense of bravado, which is basically a nice coating, Asian paints coating for weakness. What you have is not real courage. What you display now.
It's
I'm not-
logos.
I'm not generalizing.
Yeah, of
there
course,
are
of course.
great islands of bravery and hope and optimism. But the prevailing sentiment is a sense of false bravado, in which we do not take accountability on our own volition for the well-being of our society. We vote, outsource our responsibility to somebody else.
Yeah.
Each person has his or her own grievance or demand or need or whatever.
Personal agenda.
जो भी है. We stop thinking as a community, which has a specific purpose, like you said. We outsource it by pressing one EVM button and hope that some guy will come to power and do some magic. Whereas you don't want to do any work by yourself.
You want someone to blame eventually.
Your political leadership will be as strong or as weak as the society which produces it. You fix that, you will get a concomitant leadership. You don't want to take self-responsibility for anything, no. For your own community's well-being. How do you expect so whichever leader that you elect will be as good or as rotten as you are, as your psyche or your mental makeup is.
And overall, a nation has a psyche,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Yes, it does.
It does a personality.
Every nation has a character.
Yes.
It's one national character.
Yes.
Our national character was for the longest time premised on Brahma and Kshatriya. Chatra. Chatra is the spirit of valor,
Yeah.
which should be sustained by Brahma. Otherwise, it will lapse into barbarism. This will become another despotic regime and a rogue country like Pakistan, if it is not tempered by Brahma.
Do we have either of those today?
It is latent.
Latent was the word.
It is latent.
It's latent.
It is latent.
But if we wait too long, the latency will disappear.
Absolutely. We have lost several generations to this rot. So you are living almost, how do I put it? I don't want to use the word post-Hindu society, but we're getting there.
We're getting there slowly.
We're getting there.
We're getting more and more deracinated each generation that comes.
Yeah.
It's happening in
We're
real time.
getting there.
Yeah.
So this is the other lesson of Vijayanagara Empire. They took self-responsibility, and their kings knew that they got their obedience from their subjects because they they knew that they had to adhere to this one common goal.
So they were all
Or
aligned.
you have few empires in Indian history have produced monarchs who were as scared of their people as Vijayanagara kings were.
Okay, that's a good thing in a way.
Yes, they were scared of them.
And that kept them true.
Every small deviation would be announced throughout the empire. One small change to the land tax made somewhere in Dindigal would be inscribed in Kannada, Tamil, Telugu, Sanskrit, and circulated throughout the empire.
Transparency.
This is a change that we have done in Dindigal, in this part of Dindigal. There are thousands of inscriptions which prove. I can rattle out many examples of this, but why they did not have any need to do that. It was a very, very localized affair. Even if they had not made this announcement, nothing, they would have lost nothing. But the fact that they did it voluntarily shows how deeply they cared about public opinion. That is another big lesson.
Another lesson I am seeing is that leadership can make you, it can break you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. It's both extremes.
Yeah.
Both extremes. So the other big lesson is that South India remained safe for 250 years. That is 1/4 of an entire millennium.
Yes.
Whereas Northern India, around the same time, Babur was coming.
Yeah.
They are already invaded. So by the end of Vijayanagara Empire, Akbar was at the peak of his power. So things are happening. Almost Madhya Bharat, entire region north of Vindhya mountain was completely under despotic rule of alien
Under the
Muslims. Yeah.
That's right.
That would have happened if Vijayanagara had not emerged in South India.
It would have happened the same way in South
Same.
India. It would be a very different Bharatvarsh today.
Yes, absolutely. All the big and ancient temples that you see and admire,
None of those would be standing.
None of those would be standing.
Yeah. That's the saving grace in India today, that we have these great temples down south.
Exactly.
Yeah. So that is the story of Vijayanagara.
That is a very, 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 very brief story of Vijayanagara.
All right. Thank you so much. I learned a lot.
Thank you. My pleasure.
Yeah, I have stayed away from Indian history because it is very depressing. Okay.
No, there's
a lot of what to learn.
Yes, there are depressing parts. But the final triumph, in the final reckoning, who won in 1947? Hindus, huh? Forget the partition and all that. But this is a struggle to liberate the sacred land from two alien regimes.
Yeah.
We lost our freedom not in the Battle of Plassey.
No.
And what followed afterwards. We lost our freedom 5 centuries before that.
Yeah.
So two alien oppressive regimes were finally evicted from India in August 15, 1947. And still the country remained majority Hindu.
Yeah, that's true.
So this is a bright side of the history, but the oppression and the brutality was so sustained and it was so horrific that it is very depressing.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
It is.
Thank you so much for explaining this.
Thank you. My pleasure. Always good to meet you after such a long. Last time I did the podcast with you was what? 5 years ago?
It was 2023, I think.
23. No, I don't think so.
2.5 years ago.
Yeah. Looks like it.
Yeah. That was fun. This was also fun.
This was also fun. I thoroughly enjoyed talking to you as always, Abhijit.
Likewise.
So, namaste. I hope to do this again.
Absolutely.